station.
You know we don't play, stay out the way. Check out this look on my face. I'll come save the day. Give me my cape, look at I'm flying away. I start cream of the crop, go and make spot, go and put the cherry on top. This one can't be stopped, giving them shock. It's really like that, don't believe me, just watch. Watch, 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 watch.
miedo os hace fáciles de controlar. Es hora de abrir los ojos.
Las calles se teñirán de rojo con vuestra sangre.
Raúl Menéndez provocó disturbios globales sin precedentes.
Menéndez es un terrorista. Brindaremos paz y seguridad al mundo entero.
No me deja en paz.
Deja de mirar al pasado, David. Céntrate en tus siguientes pasos.
Mucha gente espera que encontremos las respuestas.
Conoceréis el miedo.
Spectre 1, responder. Informadme.
¿Por qué quieres irte, David?
Matar al hombre resulta mucho más sencillo que matar la idea.
Nunca tuviste madera de Mason.
Basta de juegos, esto acaba aquí. Consigue el paquete de desafíos de Reznov al reservar hoy mismo.
やっと元の体に戻ったが、これまでとは違うぞ。
元に戻った俺の敵ではない。ファイナルフラッシュ。ここからだ。誰も俺には勝てないんだ。
Coming to theaters.
I'm ready!
This Christmas. Something big is coming to theaters.
I'm ready!
Let's go! And they're about to go.
Watch where you're going,
Sorry.
Wait, no!
Where they've never
Ahoy!
gone before.
The Underworld! It's not for the faint of heart!
Oh, my lucky brick.
Dutchman's taken SpongeBob to the deepest, most dangerous part of the sea. The Underworld. Underwear? Underwear.
The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants.
Destiny is squeezing my buns. Do you feel it?
Nothing. But don't let me slow you down.
My massive, galaxy-spanning streaming network is expanding.
Nice imagery.
To score eyeballs, I need talent.
Now that is efficient exposition.
The biggest, baddest bastards recruited across time and space. They require persuasion.
Look who it is. Spyro Gyro, a deluxe portal for 2, if you please.
Adoring fans will be watching your every move.
Fighting on a reality show to the cheers of trillions.
Minimum effort.
I have little tolerance for low ratings.
OMG.
New Amiibo figures ride in. The Kirby Air Riders game is coming soon, and 2 new Amiibo are also on the way. Tap them to summon figure players that you can train. Your figure players will level up as they compete, and their machine's proficiency level will also increase. Plus, with the Amiibo, you can swap riders. Just like in the game, you can choose your rider and machine. Levels are also transferred over. These 2 new Amiibo will be available November 20th, the same day as the game's launch. Be on the lookout for even more Kirby Air Riders Amiibo updates in the future. And a second Kirby Air Riders Direct, hosted by the game's director, Mr. Sakurai, is also on the way.
New rivalries. Because races aren't won when the lights go out. They're won in the factory and on the test track, when the world is asleep and no one's watching. I'm Ben Collins. Join me on the Factory Driver program for Project Motor Racing, and let's build this new chapter together.